Okay, awesome. So I just want to welcome everybody tonight. It is May 10th. Happy Mother's Day, May 10th, 2020. And I am so excited to have one of my dear friends. And I've been laughing this week about it's not what you know, it's who you know. And I know a lot of who's. And one of them is the awesome Karen Ridle. And she and I actually met. I believe the first time we met was in China.
Yeah.
And it was my very first top director trip. And she and we had an opportunity to climb the Great Wall of China together. And so I have a picture of her. And in fact, on our little flyer that I did, that's the picture. She and I were on the Great Wall of China. And she and I just connected and we've gotten to know each other through the years. We're not in the same seminar, but mainly the top director trips and then leadership. And now we've been having this little happy hour with our husbands, during the virus. We call it the quarantine crew. And so we've had a blast. And of course, you guys that jump on Donald and Sweeney's calls in the morning, unlocked. Karen has spoke on them a couple of times. And then last week, you may have heard her name because she's the one that actually did the recruiting notebook that Stacy Faust, our other good buddy, taught. And so, anyway, I thought I got to have Karen speak. And I just let her speak on whatever she wanted to speak tonight. Because one of the things I'm going to read her accolades. I was talking to Brad tonight, and I said, the thing about Karen, I said, she's so passionate. I said, and it's her passion and her energy is contagious. And after she talks, you're like, yeah, I'm doing it. And so she is amazing. She's going to be an amazing national sales director. She's very close. And I'm just very, very thankful and just honored that you get on our call tonight, Karen. And so let me read you a little bit about her. Okay. Karen has earned 12 Mary Kay cars, and the last 8 have been the beautiful pink Cadillac. Just this December, she picked up the fabulous XT6 Cadillac.
Oh.
Karen has been the national court of sales 9 times, earning a beautiful diamond piece of jewelry every single time. She's been a double star 8 times. Karen has led her Dream Giver unit, don't you love that name, to a unit club every year since they have debuted, and 9 times in the Circle of Excellence. That means that she has won 9 top director trips. Her highest of sales being $796,000 in 1 year. Karen has earned 3 gorgeous 3-carat diamond rings and numerous cash bonuses in recognition of these achievements. She's been a top 10 sales director in the Emerald Sales Division 4 times. So top 10 4 times. She's earned the top director trip 9 times, and she and her husband Chuck, who we love so much, I just love Chuck, have traveled to Rome, Italy, Hawaii 3 times, Monte Carlo, Beijing, China, London, England, and a luxury cruise to Alaska and Argentina. Her highest monthly commission check so far is over $19,000 in 1 month. Her highest honor was being voted Miss Go Give by her peers in April 2009. And she is one of the most go give people that I know. Karen is so excited to grow and complete her Dream Team National Area by seminar of this year. Maybe a couple more months since the virus kind of slowed her down a little bit, but it won't be that much longer because she's been offspringing so much. She is an executive senior sales director with 5 first-line directors and 7 second-line directors and 3 third-line directors. So she's a breath away, you guys. She's married to Chuck. She has 1 son, Trey, happy Mother's Day, who is 26 years old, married to Abigail, and works in baseball operations with the Pittsburgh Pirates. She lives in Glen Allen, Virginia, and she's an executive senior sales director. And she is just one of the bonuses that came out of my starter kit, for sure. So I'm just going to give it up to the amazing Karen Ridle.
Cleta, thank you so much. Oh, I so am excited to be here. And aren't you guys blessed to have Cleta as your, I got ready to say national sales director, soon to be national sales director.
There you go. I receive it.
But she is one of my favorite people. And Cleta, I thought to myself when you were talking about how we met, I thought only in Mary Kay could you say, oh, and we met and got to know each other on the Great Wall of China. I mean, who says that, right?
Nobody, right.
Oh my goodness, you guys keep picking up your starter kit and taking it once we can get back out in front of people. I guess down in Georgia you can, but keep taking that starter kit to people's kitchens and dining room tables because it's amazing, amazing what comes out of that starter kit. And so thank you, Cleta, for asking me to be here. I always love to share, and I always ask God to make it clear to me what I should speak on. And when she first asked me, I was like, I don't know, nothing's coming to me. And then all of a sudden, a day or so later, he just dropped it in my spirit. And I was like, okay, I'm ready. So I'm going to share with you my story because it totally will set the stage for an idea that I'm going to share with you that will serve you well your entire Mary Kay business, no matter what your career goal is, no matter what your position is now, no matter what, this thought will totally carry you to whatever level you want to go to in Mary Kay. So I did start my business 27 years ago. I was newly married out of college, and my high school sweetheart and I moved to Virginia Beach for him to go to medical school. And I had my first real job. It was in marketing, and didn't pay a whole heck of a lot, but it was great experience. It was a great job. And that's when Mary Kay was introduced to me as a career opportunity. Now, I had used Mary Kay products since I was 14 years old. My mom got me started on Mary Kay skincare when Debbie Jordan came to my dining room. I'll never forget. And I got a little pink compact. My mom bought me that, and she bought me a pearl lip gloss, and she bought me the basic skincare set. And so when I tell you the only thing I've used on my skin since I was 14 is Mary Kay skincare, that is the God's honest truth. Like, it's crazy how God works in the details. So I was familiar with the products. I'd never been offered the opportunity. In fact, I don't even know who I purchased from, honestly. That just was a random thought right there, but my mom would get it for me. And so then we moved to Virginia Beach for my husband to go to medical school. And my sister-in-law lived in Houston, Texas, and she was a brand new Mary Kay beauty consultant. And she reached out to me and said, Karen, I think you'd be great in Mary Kay. And I just kind of rolled my eyes and was like, whatever. I mean, I wasn't a makeup girl. My idea of eyeshadow, for those of you that have been in Mary Kay for a while, was spun silk across my eyelid because it matched my skin tone, and nobody could see if I messed up because it was literally the color of my skin. And I also had never sold anything. I mean, nothing. And so I definitely told her no right away. And then she would call me back about a week or so later, and she'd say, no, Karen, really, I think you'd be great. And I would listen again, and then I would tell her no. And then the third phone call, same story. And it was the fourth phone call. And honestly, I should stop and say, I never felt like Gwen was being pushy. I don't remember thinking anything negative about her reaching out to me. I definitely did not want to do Mary Kay, but I don't remember being aggravated by it. So it was the fourth phone call that I really feel like God just kind of took the veil off my eyes. And I thought, well, we are broke and it's not getting any better. And I'm pretty smart. If somebody would teach me, I could figure this out. And so I said yes. And I got really excited about the business opportunity once I said yes. I'm a person that loves challenge. And so it was like, woo, this is going to be fun to learn something new. And I just fell in love with the business, and I started practicing. And what I started very early on in my career was 2 parties a week. And as a consultant, I did that consistently. And that's really how I got good at parties. It's how I started to learn the product and learn how to do eyeshadow and learn how to sell the product. And honestly, 27 years later, I'm sure some of you could relate to this. I still don't feel like I sell. I sell a lot, but I don't feel like I'm in sales. I just love the products and I love the opportunity. And so therefore, it's a very easy fit for me. And so at the end of my first year, averaging 2 parties a week, I earned my first car. I became a sales director, and I had my son, Trey. And when Trey was born, I was able to leave my full-time job and be a work from home mom as a Mary Kay sales director. I always wanted to do that because my mom was always home with us when we were growing up. Mm-hmm. And so I loved the thought of me being able to be home with this new baby boy. But I also, I'm very career minded. I love business. I love career. So it was a perfect fit for me. So for the next 4 years, I was a Mary Kay sales director and a new mom. And then my high school sweetheart left us. And I didn't see that coming at all. Totally unprepared for what happened and what unfolded in my life. And it was a really tough situation. And I ended up stepping away from my Mary Kay business for 5 years. I didn't not like it. I just was having a hard time kind of coping with the whole situation. And so I moved back to Richmond, Virginia, which is where I'm from. I took a job at a large law firm as a marketing manager. And right about this time, I got married again. Chuck is the keeper. We just celebrated 18 years of marriage about a week ago. And so blessed to have a supportive, amazing, loyal, faithful, loving, godly man as my husband. And so here I was at the law firm. I loved what I did. I made really good money, but I quickly found out that the better job I did for the law firm, the more work they gave me. So the 40-hour work week became 60 and 70 hours a week, and I was never home. So by this time, my son Trey was about 7 or 8. He was playing lots of baseball, and I was missing out on tons of life. I was missing out on games and practices. My husband was an elementary school teacher at the time. I just was missing out, and I was working all the time. And that's when I started to think about Mary Kay. And I loved the values, the priorities of Mary Kay. And I thought, I'm going to go back and I'm going to be a top leader. And I am going to be my own boss and not have to be in corporate America again. And so I couldn't afford to up and quit my corporate job because we had just purchased a new home and my husband was a teacher. And so I continued my full-time crazy job and then doing 2 parties a week consistently, sometimes more, but always 2 parties a week. And within 6 months, I earned my next car and I became a sales director. Okay, so I'm gonna pause the story right here and I want to tell you something that happened to me. So as I was at the law firm and I was in DIQ, I was so excited about becoming a sales director because I had actually already given my notice. I told them that I was going to be finishing DIQ on December 31st. And so around November, I gave my notice. Now I knew that I was going to be out of that job even before I went into DIQ, because the whole purpose to come back to Mary Kay was not just to have fun on the side selling some product, but was to be a leader and to replace my 6-figure income with great income and a leadership position in Mary Kay. So I knew the plan. But about November, I gave my notice and we're working hard for DIQ. To finish DIQ. And my senior sales director kept saying to me, Karen, what's the name of your unit? And I kept saying, I don't know. I don't know. And she's like, you got to have a name for your unit. And honestly, like, I just wanted to get it done. I just wanted to get the goal done so I could be out of this job and start the new phase of my life. But she kept saying, you've got to have a dream. You've got to have a name. So finally she goes, just be Karen's Kicking Cadillacs. I'm like, whatever, fine. Horrible name, by the way. But I didn't care. I was just like, fine, let's just have a name, you know? So about this time, I remember going to Lifeway Christian bookstore and I saw this book on the shelf and it was called The Dream Giver. And it caught my eye. I didn't pick it up, but I was like, oh, interesting. I love books. So then like a week later, I was at Target and there at the end of the Target bookshelf area was The Dream Giver. And then about a week or so later, I went back. Sometimes I'm a little slow like that. I went back to Lifeway and I saw it again and I purchased it. And I devoured this book, The Dream Giver by Bruce Wilkinson. He also wrote The Prayer of Jabez. And so I devoured this book in one weekend. I literally could not put it down. I underlined, this book means so much to me for so many reasons, but couldn't put it down. And it was then that God revealed my purpose to me. I still can't even believe like how that all unfolded. But my purpose on this earth is to empower women to believe bigger in the dreams that God places in their heart. And I got so excited about this book and I thought, oh, that is going to be my unit name. We're going to be the Dream Giver unit, because I felt like, Mary Kay is a way to make dreams come true. We always hear that, right? It's a company that's empowered women for years to finance dreams, right? And I thought that's going to be the name of my unit. And so we debuted as a unit and I was so excited to be the director of the Dream Giver unit. I literally, the day that I debuted on January 1st, on December 31st was my last day at the law firm. And at 5 o'clock, I said goodbye to my coworkers. I came home, Chuck grilled me a steak and I sat at my desk and I finished DIQ. And so when I woke up on January 1st, 17 years ago, I was a brand new sales director and I've never looked back since. I've just loved it. God blessed us with being a $500,000 unit our first full year. We earned our pink Cadillac 1 year to the day after we debuted as a new unit. I mean, my journey when I came back to Mary Kay was so different from my first try. I loved Mary Kay the first time, but I wasn't a really big thinker the first time. And so my first piece of advice is think big. Don't fall into what's comfortable for you. Don't do what you think you're capable of. Like, I just feel like, you guys, we've got to take God at his word, and nothing is impossible for God. And the way, you know, Kathy Halou, one of my mentors, always said, excellence honors God, not mediocrity. And I love that, because guess what? Excellence honors God, because when you achieve excellent things, you get a bigger platform. And when you get a bigger platform, more people hear your story, and more people hear, more importantly, what God did through you. And so I was just so excited about what God was doing through my faith-filled efforts and my steps of obedience. Well, right about, I don't know, 6 months into being a director, I was convicted, I've never really financed a dream with my Mary Kay business. I mean, don't get me wrong. I had paid for things. It made me money. But like, the concept of picking a dream and financing it, like seeing it through, like I don't know. I just never had picked one thing. I just sold product and then wrote myself a paycheck and put it in my account. But like, I just thought, Karen, if you're teaching people how to do this, you've got to finance something with your business. So I started thinking about it, and I thought, Trey loves baseball. Okay, my son, well, he works for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Like, it's just in his blood, right? But at this point, he was in middle school. He loved baseball. He was in elementary school. He loved baseball, and my husband liked baseball. And neither one of them had ever been to New York City. And I thought, I'm going to surprise them with a trip to New York City, and we're going to go see the Yankees play. Now, Trey was not a Yankees fan, or my husband, but if you're a baseball fan, you got to go see the Yankees, right? And I thought we could go see the Lion King, and we could do all of New York City. And I thought, yes, this is what I'm going to do. Now, I'm a person that's motivated by the surprise. I love surprises, and I love to surprise people. So I thought, I'm not telling Chuck, and I'm not telling Trey. So I started to work. And I started to work, and I started to work. And let me tell you a secret that I figured out that I want to share with you. If I asked you right now, and I can't see all of you, but if I asked you right now, who needs more money? I can't see you, but I know you're raising your hand. I got to believe you're raising your hand, right? Like, Cleta's raising her hand, and Cleta makes good money, right? But like, we all need more money. I don't care how much money, you always need more money, right? But if I said to you, well, then why aren't you holding 3 to 5 parties a week? And that's because just needing more money isn't really a big enough motivator for most women. I really believe that. And I'm motivated to have a good living. I want choices for my family. But I believe that just needing more money really is not the motivator that pushes us to go and hold more parties and to get back up when a no happens. And what I found out as I was working to finance this trip to New York City was that if I got a no, if I got a cancellation, my BBA was strong, because I had this vision right here. Like, I had been researching, are we going to fly, or are we going to take the train? Where are we going to stay? And what are we going to go see? And I had this whole trip here and in my heart. And so when I got a no, I didn't care. I didn't have time for a no. I had a vision that I was working towards. And you guys, if you have a problem with the ups and downs of owning your own business, I gotta say, I don't think you have a clear vision of where you're going, because if you were very clear on where you were going and your why moved your heart, I don't think you would give up quite as easily. So maybe that's a question for yourself, is what would motivate you to keep going? What would inspire you to keep going? Motivation is short-term, inspiration, whole different level. So I really didn't care about cancellations. I just kept going, and I kept going, and I held parties, and I held facials, and I sold product. And all of a sudden in May, I had enough money to finance Amtrak, because I decided that Trey had never been on the train. We were going to take the train from Virginia to New York. I had purchased, or I was going to be purchasing tickets to the Yankees game, tickets to the Lion King. We stayed in Times Square. Like, I had it all together. The money was there. And so that afternoon in my office, I started buying everything. Okay. Like I was booking the Amtrak and I was buying the tickets. I couldn't wait. I was like my heart was beating out of my chest. So Trey gets home and, you know, he's 9 or so and he's playing, he's out on his bike and whatever. And so Chuck was coming home from teaching and we would usually eat like 6:30 or 7. Well, I was ready to eat at 5:15, you guys. Like I was going to unveil it at dinner. So I'll never forget it. Here I am. I'm running out to the deck because I'm grilling pork chops and I'm cooking pasta on the stove. So I'm back and forth and Chuck comes home and he's like, "When are we eating dinner soon?" I'm like, "Yep, we're eating dinner soon." And he goes, "All right, well, let me go change." Okay, so picture this. So in my house, my old house, he's in the kitchen and he's walking to go up the steps to our bedroom. But my foyer to the front door, right off my foyer, right next to where the steps were, was my office. And it had these big French doors open. And I'm listening for Chuck. I'm stirring the pasta. And I'm like, he's not going upstairs. And I heard him go into my office. Okay, freaking out, because what happens when you buy that stuff on your Outlook is open, right? Your inbox is open and there's like confirmation and your tickets. And so this is it. This is what happened. I wish I could stand up right here. This is what happened. I'm at my kitchen stove and I go this. I'm just like me. No. And I'm like running slow motion, but really super fast. And I come in front of my foyer and I have an area rug. And I hit the area rug and I fall flat on my face and I hit my cheekbone. And have you ever like hurt yourself, but you're trying not to cry and you're like blinking back tears? Like, and Chuck is looking at me like this. Are you okay? Like, what is wrong? And I'm like, I'm fine. Just go get change. And he is like looking at me like, what is wrong with my wife? So he goes up to change. My cheek is like pulsating. You know, I shut my computer. I go back. I'd already created cards. I'd made a card for Trey and a card for Chuck with this sappy little poem. I don't even know where those cards are today. I wish I would have saved them, but I had a little poem about Mary Kay financing our trip. So we get out on the deck. We're eating outside, and we say the blessing. And then they get ready to start eating and I go, surprise. And I give them both the card and Trey opens it up first. He's like, we're going to New York City. And Chuck's like this, what is going on? Like the poor man is like, what is happening here, you know? And so that was the first dream I ever financed. And I'll never forget that trip. I mean, the Yankees, Lion King, pizza in Little Italy. I mean, it was just the best. And it really taught me so much about the power of a dream and the power of a clear dream. And so that's the purpose of our national area. We are the Dream Team National Area, and our purpose is to empower women to believe bigger in the dreams that God places in their hearts. And my directors, well, they are the women who are empowering other women to dream bigger and to help them find more women to empower to dream big, because dreaming big is a huge thing, and a dream is a gift from God. So if there's something in your heart right now that you want, a position, something for your family, you know, a car with Mary Kay, that is not selfish. God gives you a dream to change people's lives. I mean, I've seen it over and over again. Every time I've had a desire to go to the next level in my business, whether it's earning a Cadillac or earning my first trip or becoming a national, I know that God put that dream in my heart to stretch me so that I would be touching other lives. So I got to tell you, there's no dream that God gives you that's selfish. So don't ever tell yourself, I shouldn't do this because it's all about me. It is not about you, because when you stretch to reach a big dream, you will impact so many more lives than you could ever imagine. So after I financed this dream, I really got hooked on the idea of paying for dreams with our business. And so over the years, this has become a huge part of what we do. And so I ask my consultants and my directors, what is it that you want to pay for this month? Okay, now I'm going to pause for a minute and tell you, if you have a dream to be a sales director, that's awesome. If you have a dream to drive free, that's awesome. But I'm not talking about those kind of dreams right now. I'm talking about a dream that you finance with your Mary Kay sales. Okay. What I'm going to tell you is that if you have a dream to become a sales director, or you have a dream to drive free, the more dreams that you finance by selling the product, it will get you to those dreams. Okay. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't go after a dream of being a sales director. I'm saying do it by paying for specific things, because I see the difference in women who know exactly what they want to pay for. I see the difference than somebody that just wants to make some extra money. And so when new consultants join my unit, one of the first things I ask them is, in the first 1 to 3 months, what would you love to pay for that would be between $1,000 and $3,000 of profit? What would you want to pay for? Let's be clear. And let's get that vision in your head and in your heart and then in your date book. So I don't even know how many years ago, but I saw something that Gloria Mayfield Banks did, and it was called the dream equation. And so that's what I'm going to give you right here, because this dream equation, so if you don't have paper and pen, grab it. This dream equation will help you finance any dream you want. A couple of years ago, my area decided to see how many dreams we could finance. And we started to see what could we pay for that was over $100 using this dream equation. And you guys, I was trying to find the number before I got on here. So this is what I remember off my head. In about 4 months of time, our area financed almost $40,000 of dreams. I think it was around $38,000. And what we did is we tracked it. And every time somebody paid for something that was $100 or more, we tracked it in a Google survey. And oh my gosh, you guys, that was so powerful. We paid for couches. We paid for daycare. We paid for new floors and kitchens. We paid for credit card debt to go away. We paid for swim lessons. We paid for everything you could think of. I mean, it was crazy. We had one woman who went on a trip with her. She's a single mom, and she went with her boys, and they went on a trip to see her family. And while they were driving down to Florida or somewhere, they had like one person got sick and they had to go to the ER. That paid for that. She dropped her phone. She paid for that. She paid for like 3 things that were emergencies in her life that she didn't have budgeted, and her Mary Kay business paid for it. And so, oh my gosh, you guys, if you will get really clear on what you want to pay for, I'm telling you, you won't worry about the cancellations or the return miracle sets or people that won't book with you. You'll just be so focused on, I know God's told me to do this. I know he's put this dream in my heart. He's given me a picture of this. I'm going to keep going until I get it done. And what I found is every time you finance a dream, you want to do another one. It's like, it just builds this expectation of what else can God do through my business. So here's the dream equation. All right. I want you to think of something you want to pay for. And I want you to think of something that's between, say, $1,000 and $3,000. Okay. Ideally, I think it'd be great if you paid for this by the end of June. Like, I think that would be kind of a cool timeline. But whatever your timeline is fine. I'm going to tell you it should be 1 to 3 months, because, and I'm going to talk to you in a minute about a really big dream. Okay. Like if you need $10,000 or $20,000, we'll come back to that, but you've got to have something for you and for your team members that's a quick win, because a quick win builds confidence and it builds progress and momentum. Okay. All right. So figure out what it is. Now figure out your timeline. You know, is it June 30th? Is it July 31st? Is it August 31st? Somewhere within there, okay? All right, so you take the amount of profit that you need, you divide it by the number of months, you divide that by 0.4. Now that takes into account the 40-60 split. Okay, then you divide it by 4 weeks in a month. So let's say that you need $3,000 of profit. I'm going to do it on my calculator right here. Let's say you need it in 3 months. We'll just say that. We're going to divide it by 3. So that's 1,000. We're going to divide it by 0.4. That's 2,500. And then we're going to divide it by 4 weeks in a month. That's your dream number. That means you need to sell $625 a week through the end of 3 months for you to have $3,000 of profit. Now, what I love about this equation is that it takes into account what you have to reinvest to put the product back on your shelf. Because you guys, we're businesswomen, we're in sales. We can't just deplete our shelves and go pay for a dream. We have to pay for the dream, but we have to put the product back on our shelf so we can keep our customers serviced and we can keep moving forward with new appointments. So if you sold when you sell $625 a week for the next 3 months, you would have $3,000 of profit in your bank account. You know, I found out that there were women in my unit who just wanted to be a star consultant all the time. So they just kept ordering and they never took profit. You guys, Mary Kay Ash would never want that. Mary Kay Ash would want you to have profit to pay bills, to pay for fun things for your family that your family can't afford, to put your kids in private Christian school. Mary Kay created this marketing plan, this company to finance dreams. If you're not taking your profit, you are not living the dream that Mary Kay set up. But maybe it's just because you haven't had a picture in your mind of truly what you can pay for. Now, let me give you a couple tips. First off, you have to get very clear. So if you say today, you know what, I want to surprise my family with a trip to Hilton Head this summer. I want to pay for a trip to Hilton Head, South Carolina. Then I'm going to say to you, how much is it going to cost you? Do you have to fly? Are you going to drive? How much do you need in gas? Where do you want to stay when you get there? Okay, like we got to get serious here. Are you going to stay in a condo? Or are you going to stay in a hotel? Are you going to do an Airbnb? Like, what are you going to do? You got to go research it to figure it out. How are you going to pay for food when you're there? So you got to get an accurate number. It's not just enough to go, I'm going to go take my family to Hilton Head without really knowing what is it going to cost me to do that. So you got to do your homework. All right, now here's the next part. The next part is, are you a woman who is motivated by surprising somebody like me? Or are you motivated by accountability? Mm-hmm. So accountability would be, I want to tell my husband, I want to tell my kids, I want to tell my parents, because then I will be accountable. So if I tell them I'm going to do it, then I got to do it. So I don't know. Everybody's different. Are you more motivated by accountability? Or are you more motivated by the surprise factor? For me, hands down, I want to surprise them. I want to cook up a cool way to tell them, and I just want to knock their socks off with the announcement, okay? But I don't know how you are. Now, if you're picking to pay off debt, a lot of people pick that, and it's fine to pick that. I mean, that's a great thing to do. But if you got a lot of debt, if you got like $10,000 or whatever, oh, it can seem like a long road. So here's what I'm going to tell you to do. I'm going to tell you to take, or maybe I had a director one time that was going to pay for a wedding, but a wedding can be pretty pricey, right? And that takes a while. And so what she did was, and what you could do with the credit card debt is you could break it down. So she said, this month, I'm going to pay for the dress. Okay, this month, I'm going to pay for the deposit for the caterer. Okay, so she started to break down this big dream into bite-sized portions. Kind of Mary Kay Ash would say how you eat an elephant, right? Bite by bite. And so it's the same thing with credit card. Now, be creative about this. If you're like, I got to pay $10,000 off. Okay, can you pay $1,000 off this month? Like, wouldn't that feel good to be 1/10 of the way down? Pay $1,000 off this month. Now, if you're like, well, how can I like make this cool? So maybe you go to your dinner table with your family and you're like, ta-da, here's $1,000. Here's 10 $100 bills that I'm laying out on the table to put towards our debt. I mean, think about what kind of lesson that would be for your kids, you know, whether you surprise them or you're accountable to them. You guys, your kids will learn so much. I'm going to close with this. When we became the Dream Giver unit and we were working for our first $500,000 year, we had the theme Dream Big. No, Dream Huge. And I had, do you remember when those little like plastic bracelets were so big that, you know, you can have them printed up with whatever? We had Dream Huge bracelets made for our unit. So I gave them out at a meeting. And the next day, one of my consultants, one of my red jackets called me, and she was like very emotional. And I said, what's wrong, Kathy? And she's like, that bracelet you gave me, you're not even going to believe what happened. And I said, what? And she said, you know, I was bathing my son last night and he saw my bracelet and he said, Mom, what does that say? And she said, well, it says dream huge. And he said, what does that mean, Mom? And she said, Karen, I would never have had that conversation, but this business has given me a chance to have conversations with my kids that maybe I wouldn't have had till later, but now it can be a part of their childhood and dreaming big. And when I think about my son and working for the Pittsburgh Pirates, if I had another hour and a half, I would tell you that story. But you guys, it's the result of him being in a home where he saw his mom dream big, and God used it to teach him how to dream big. And he got this job that I still don't even know how in the world he did that, except by God and dreaming big. And so if you have been working for directorship for a while, or maybe it's been on your heart and you want to be one of Cleta's directors to finish this national area, and you just can't seem to get the momentum, girlfriend, I got to tell you, I think if you'll find a specific dream and you'll go finance it and you'll share it at your parties and your makeovers and you'll tell people what you're paying for. Linda Tupin said one of the most important and powerful things you can say in your iStory is what you've most recently paid for. If you can't do that right now, you've got to go have a story to tell people about how this business finances dreams for women and families. If you have a big goal and you've been stalled out, you just got to go get booked up virtually or person to person, and you go after that dream to pay for something. And guess what? You'll get better, more excited. You'll get more momentum. You'll meet more people, and you'll teach your team to do the same thing. Because now you can have a conversation with your team members to say, hey girl, guess what? Last month, I paid for my family to go out to eat to this amazing steak restaurant. It cost us $400 for this phenomenal dinner, but I did it with my Mary Kay business. What are you going to pay for this month? And you will start teaching your team members and their team members and their team members how to dream big. So have a great wrap up to the seminar year. This is the key for you getting to whatever goal and dream you have by June 30th. You just got to go start paying for things that God places on your heart, and look out. God's going to part the waters and you are going to get to the dreams and goals he's put in your heart.
Girlfriend, thank you so much. Karen, that is exactly what we needed for these last, 8, I guess, how many weeks do we have left for the seminar year? Like 7 weeks of the seminar year. Yeah. And so, you know what, you guys, this is exactly what Mary Kay Ash would have taught y'all tonight. I'm not kidding, Karen. She is looking down on you here on Mother's Day and her birthday week, thinking that's one of my daughters right there. That is such great, wise advice. And so you guys, I'm going to just open it up for a few minutes. And if y'all would like to affirm Karen, and you can unmute yourself, and you are on the phone, just text your sales director and she can let me know and I'll unmute you. Okay. Cause you should have your sales director's number. Okay. Just so there's not so much chatter. So I would love to just hear from the sales directors first. I know they all have something they would like to say. So I'm just going to actually call on them. Okay. So I'm just going to go down the row. I'm looking. So Sayla, I'm going to let you kick it off here.
Karen, wow. Thank you so much for your time, your motivation, your inspiration. Really and truly, I think, like Cleta said, it is exactly what we needed to hear. I think we all kind of get caught in thinking and saying the same thing, and not that our intentions aren't great, but I think to dream big and to finance a dream is so powerful. I've done small things for our family over the years, but I haven't ever said, okay, I'm going to do this big trip, this big thing. And I just think that would be so amazing. So thank you for sharing, and happy Mother's Day.
Thank you. You too.
And you know, your life and Selah's are a lot alike. And I was looking at Selah and I was looking at you, and I'm Selah is one of my dearest friends on the earth. And so I'm thinking Selah's going, I'm like, yep. Anyway, we'll tell you all that story later, but goodness gracious. And by the way, some of our YouTube consultants and directors are just, you know, shouting out, you know, Karen Crownover is a good buddy of mine. And she's like, God gives a dream to change others' lives. What else can God do through my business? And I love that. So awesome. Jana, you want to go next?
Absolutely, Karen. I'm just a huge fan of yours. You know, years ago, I downloaded a CD on booking and it still pops up on my phone in my car once in a while. And then I've heard you know, so much of your training recently. And I just love your Holy Spirit led life and how you exemplify Mary Kay. I mean, it just brings tears to my heart. Just think Mary Kay would be so proud of you and just the leader that you are. And so thank you so much for following what God is guiding you to do. I truly needed to hear this. And this is something that, you know, I used to go to a Cadillac class with Priscilla McFeeters, and Priscilla said, I want to know what brings tears to your eyes, what your business could finance. And at that time, it was a vacation for my family. And she said, go home, fine. I want to know how much it cost. And so such a timely reminder, because I have just slacked off so much in thinking big. And I thought about that the other day because my husband said, what do you want to do for Mother's Day and for your birthday? Because we can do anything that you want to do. And I thought, I can't, my thinker is shut down. I'm like, I got a lazy thinker and I've got to increase that again because, you know, just to get that back, because God wants so much more for us. And so I just want to thank you so much for the passion that comes through. You're going to make an amazing national sales director.
Thank you, Jana. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay. Loree.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Again, just like they said, this has been such a timely word for me, and I echo what Cleta said to start with. It's just the energy that you give off is just his spirit and his favor working through you. And I appreciate you being in tune with the Holy Spirit to know exactly what we needed to hear tonight. And so I just really appreciate that. And I can't wait to share it with the rest of my unit that's not on the call tonight, and really kind of change a mindset for our unit and what we need to do to really think about those dreams and those goals, and really using their Mary Kay money for something bigger. And just like Jana said, you know, we get in a rut sometimes about just doing life, and we do forget to dream. And so thank you for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Loree. One of the things that came to me when she was talking is I thought, you know, because what do we say, like, especially if you're full-time Mary Kay, you know, you drop back to that place where your money just, what does it do? Well, it just pays my bills.
Right.
I mean, like, obviously everything I have is through my Mary Kay business, but that's not as motivating as saying, all right. Because I was thinking, what do I want to do and where do I want to go? And since we're not going to seminar, where could me and Brad go? You know what I'm saying? And
right.
Laying in the bed this afternoon, just not really napping, but we thought we'd take a nap. And he's like, well, we could go to Arizona. We could go back to California. I mean, like, we're just sitting there because you don't take the time to talk about stuff like that.
And that's a dream. Yeah.
So thank you for saying that. That's really, really good. Okay, Rosemary, you want to say something next? Here, I'll unmute you. Go ahead, Rosemary.
I think I muted me again. Can you hear me now? Okay. I think you were unmuting as I was trying to do it too. Karen, I just want to thank you so much. I found myself as you were talking, you know, you drew me in so much. I felt like I was leaning closer and closer, you know, like my head was going to go through the monitor, because I was just, you just have a way with words. And what I love so much is, the fact that I think we can really present this to consultants in such a simplistic, it's really so easy that I never thought of it. I mean, I love that, you know, you talked about dreams just of $100 or more. Maybe for them, $1,000 is not going to be, not that they shouldn't dream that, but right now, if they're just starting out, that $1,000 is just not something attainable, but maybe, you know, $100 to buy, I don't know what, a game or something, a trampoline for the family or something. that is doable to them.
You're right.
And so I think not only did you open my eyes for me personally, and I'm just as bad, you know, I think about my Mary Kay check, you know, going to pay towards my bills rather than picking a specific thing, which I'm going to change now. But I think it's also helped me see how I can help consultants. And it doesn't have to be thousands of dollars at this point. For some, it may be.
Right.
But I just like how, you know, you can kind of just make it work for whoever you're speaking to at the moment. Just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So thank you so much. I
You're
appreciate
welcome. You're welcome.
It's a great reminder to ask the new consultants and any consultant, what is your dream? And so we need to make it that is just as important as what size inventory do you want to start with?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and I'll
if
send
we
you
did that, it'd switch everything around.
I'll send you a worksheet, Cleta, that I use, and then it's for any consultant or a new consultant. So I'll send it to you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Katie, you want to unmute yourself and say anything?
Hey ladies. Hey guys. So Karen, I am so thankful that I hopped on tonight because I was almost going to say, you know, I'm not going to, I'm going to put my kids to bed, but I'm so glad that I did, Karen, because I, before becoming a director, I became a director February 1st. And right before I became a director, this is what I did almost every month. I would say, okay, I want to pay for a trip to Colorado before we have our third baby. I want to pay for, you know, anniversary stuff for me and my husband. And I've stopped doing that. I stopped doing that for so many different reasons. And I've just like pivoted my focus, and just hearing you talk about it and hearing about, you know, the 1,000 to 3,000 or the, you know, 500 to whatever it is. And I know with my new, like my ladies in my unit, my babies that I'm growing and that are so excited about this business, just giving them a focal point to focus on. That is huge. It's just it's so awesome. So thank you for reigniting that. And especially these last, however many weeks, I know somebody else said it, like 8 weeks or 7 weeks.
7 weeks.
That yes, 7 weeks. It's so close. That we have until the end of the seminar year. And Cleta, I'm so glad that you said it, because I have to say, I got really sad when I found out that they're not having seminar. And I know that some people are still kind of sad. And I went through my grieving process, and I even called my senior, Jana, and I said, okay, I need you to help me through this process. And she said, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
And now I'm excited. I'm excited about the possibilities, and just to bring us more together as a unit, the possibilities of the virtual, and just to really kick it off with this dreaming and just kind of saying, go for it, you know? And so thank you so much for being on this call tonight. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
You know, and I think part of this is being cooped up and people telling you what you cannot do.
Yeah.
Welch's dreams, you know, you can't go outside, you can't go here, you can't, you know, you can't go to career conference, you can't go see your mother, you can't go see your best friend, you can't get with your friends. So it's like a no, 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 no. So we got to take the lid back off and go, yes and amen, like the Lord is telling us, you know, and it does affect you over all these weeks.
Yeah.
He knows. And it's almost to the fact where you're like, it's weird. It's almost like, should I go in that restaurant? I know they open, but is that wise? And you're like, get up, you know? So once your state opens, I mean, you know, it's okay.
No,
all right. Is Stephanie still on here? Stephanie DeMar? Okay, I know we got some other directors. I just want to make sure we heard from the Boss Babe directors. But anyone else, would you like to, because we got just a few more minutes, just unmute yourself if you'd like to say something, consultant or director. Or if you'd just like to thank Karen and tell her how amazing she is, because she is pretty amazing.
Thank you. This was really motivating, and I'm a broke college student, and of course I have dreams like paying for college and stuff, and it was just really nice to hear that. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Heather is a brand new consultant in Larie's unit. A great start.
And I got my first jewelry.
Oh, that's proud. We're so proud. You guys got to get this new necklace. I love it. I'm really proud of you. I know.
Thank you.
Too. Okay. Anybody else like to say something?
Well,
I know you got to be brave.
This is Joyce. Hi. I'm just excited to be on here this evening. Decided to jump on, and I'm so glad I did. Wow, that was just awesome, Karen. I mean, it was like listening to Mary Kay, and it's like being at seminar, girl. I tell you, I can relate so much to that when you were talking about your son and and how so much is caught,
Yeah.
in the process. So that was all wonderful. And getting those dreams back. I remember when I first got into Mary Kay, or even most of my career in Mary Kay, one of my things were that was what I was taught, to find something that you want to do, and then you pay for that with your Mary Kay money. And the one thing that I decided to do every year was to pay for the whole trip for my husband and myself to go to Dallas to seminar once a year. And it paid off because it just really, when the women came into Mary Kay and they were married, or if they weren't married, they wanted to get married because of the way that Cliff was always there supporting me, but I was paying them to do it. So that was just so awesome. So great to hear it. I just love your heart. I love your spirit, and God bless you. And we're going to rock it out. I already know what I'm going to pay for June, Father's Day coming up, and I got it.
Love it.
I'm going to pass it on, girl. Thank you so much. And thank you, Cleta, for always, you're the best. You know that.
I love you, Joyce. I miss seeing you, girl. Okay, is there anybody else would like to say anything? We got a lot of chats that if you want to look at that, Karen, too. A lot of gals just saying some stuff over there, and our YouTubers as well. But anybody else like to say something?
I just wanted to say, I missed the beginning of this. I'm going to go back and rewatch it, but it was very inspiring. And thank you, Karen. Absolutely. And thank you, Jana, for inviting me.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank y'all. I love seeing newer consultants on here. And I know we got a bunch on YouTube that are new as well. Okay, you guys. Well, listen, we don't want to keep her any longer, but Karen, it's funny. Karen's like, how long do you want me to speak? I said, you speak. I don't care, the whole hour. Just keep talking till you get done saying. I'm not one of these rigid, like I need 15 minutes and then we will stop. Like, no, just keep going. But anyway, I can't thank you enough. It was just really, it is exactly what we needed. That reminder. And some things popped into my head and I thought, is that really what I want to do? And I thought, because I've been saying, I need a golf cart, Brad. And like, I got all these things and we'll always say something. And I'm like, where's that pool, Brad? I need a golf cart, and so I got to decide if I want to go with the big dream or the small dream.
Right.
And then I thought, do I really need a golf cart? I just got to think about that. I want it to
only
be
if it's pink. Only if it's pink. Only if it's a pink
right. Cart. I know. I need a pink golf cart. Get the pool. Right, Jana? That's the truth.
I need a trip to Georgia, so hurry up and get that pool.
That's the truth. That's what Allison, she's like, I'd see you more if you had a pool, but
that's
anyway.
Right.
That's right. That's right. Well, you guys, we're going to close up. Let me just make a little side note about the new summer products. If you did preferred customer program, or if you were a star, you can order today. However, in some of the branches, they are out of the lip balms, and it's on In Touch. And some of the branches that still have them, they are going to try to redistribute some. And so they have limited us to 2 at the Southern branch when you order the new lip balms, so that everybody can get a little bit. What's going to happen? Will they make more? We don't know yet. You guys, it's not Mary Kay's fault. They had to be able to keep their doors open. They had to make more skincare and body care products, hygiene products, or their doors would be shut and we would have no orders coming out, you guys. We would literally be shut down. And if you didn't have inventory, you would be too bad, so sad, you're dead. So don't get like mad at Mary Kay, okay? Because y'all know Mary Kay. I mean, they are doing everything they can. They're struggling. Think about everybody else that has way more problems than lip balms, okay? So if for some reason you pre-sold a bunch of lip balms, you know what? Just ask your customers just to hang on and say, because of the COVID virus, we had a short run out. We will be finding out if they're going to make some more. And if not, what is the real truth. They hadn't tried it anyway. Sell them a beautiful lipstick, okay? Go get you a Naturally Buff or something and sell them that. I mean, it's okay, or offer to refund the money. Well, if it was me, I would say, listen, I can give you a new lipstick instead, and I'll just let you pick any color you want. And then when they come back again, I'll let you know. But don't panic over it and don't get negative over it. That's not going to serve you well, okay? And there's some other things that I already heard, that the green cover up thing that some of those are running low. So first of all, if you are on that list that you could order, you need to get off the phone and then you need to do it tonight. Okay. And don't cry about it if you don't. If you can't order till the 15th, still don't cry. Okay. Just, it is what it is. There's not one single thing you can do to change it or I can do to change it. And Mary Kay, believe me, will do what they can do to change it. And so I just want to give you that little word. There's lots of other products that we can be selling. Okay. So, you know, I had a facial here. You know, we did open the door so we could have facials. And the lady came in and in 30 minutes, you know, she bought over $200. And she texted me today, like that was yesterday. She goes, I just emailed you a long list and I forgot to put Shy Blush of some other stuff I want. Basically everything else she tried on, you know. So people are still buying. So don't get hung up over one or two products, okay? And the other thing is, let's take advantage of the twice as nice. Everything you order is gonna also count for July and for next seminar year. So you guys that have already done your $600 order, you already won your necklace, you already got 600 in toward the seminar 2021, right? And there's going to be the biggest celebration we've ever had next seminar, I can guarantee you. So recruit and sell, get that dream real solid in your mind, and let's start on it in May and do as much of that dream as you can in May, because it counts twice for you, okay? Don't be at the end and go, I just wish May I'd have done something, okay? Don't do that. All right, so there's my little sermonette for the week. I know y'all will be sad if you didn't get one. So Karen, is there anything else you'd like to say before we sign off here?
No, just go make those dreams come true and have a great seminar year end finish.
Okay, thank you so much, girl. Thank you for all our YouTubers for chiming in over here. We're gonna go ahead and